Welcome to Contemporary Retirement. Contemporary Retirement is a public interest program focused on the retirement community. Every program has segments on legal, financial, and health issues affecting the retirement community. Contemporary Retirement is sponsored in part by a major grant from the Family Heritage Trust Company.
Contemporary Retirement is sponsored by Family Heritage Trust Company. The Family Heritage Trust Company is an independent bank chartered trust company established by local professionals to provide fiduciary services, including fee-based investment advice, trust services, retirement planning, and tax planning. The Family Heritage Trust Company is committed to client service in our communities. For more information, call the Family Heritage Trust Company at 301-631-5900.
Contemporary Retirement is sponsored in part by a grant from R. Thomas Murphy & Associates, P.C. R. Thomas Murphy & Associates is one of Franklin County's leading law firms, emphasizing estate, trust, elder law, and medical assistance planning.
Welcome to the Is It Legal feature on Contemporary Retirement. Is It Legal focuses on the legal issues affecting the retirement community. With me today is Tom Murphy from the R. Thomas Murphy Law Firm with offices in Waynesboro, Chambersburg, and McConnellsburg. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Good morning, Mike.
Tom, we spent the last several weeks talking about the need to have a current power of attorney with the appropriate gifting language, which then preserves your ability to maximize protection of assets.
Exactly, and there have been big changes in Maryland and Pennsylvania over the years, and so you need to keep that document fresh and current to avoid headaches for your family.
And one of the things that we challenge families to do is oftentimes you'll see lawyers saying, I only want to put one kid on that power of attorney. Mm-hmm. And I look at that and I say, you know, if the kids have no history of getting along, then I'm saying, okay, that probably is a good choice. But if the kids have a pattern of getting along, this sort of, you know, how many angels can tap dance on the head of a pen that I can't name two because of the potential for a dispute, is really typically not a valid concern.
Exactly. Most of the things that are being done through the power of attorney are very basic things. You know, who's taking mom to the doctor? Who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to, you know, check on that light bill? Things that don't take a whole lot of interaction or discussion.
And one of the challenges that we have here is when we're dealing with 85-year-old parents, oftentimes we're dealing with 60 to 65-year-old children. It does not take a rocket scientist to see that that child could have their own health issues, including passing. So one of the things that we look at when we're representing that family member that's nearing the end of life, the older parent, I better get every name on that document that I want, because if I only put one child, that child dies or is incapacitated or run over by a truck or develops their own dementia, I now don't have a power of attorney.
Exactly, and so your point as to put as many good folks on there as possible is an excellent defensive mechanism, and it may be something as simple as, you know, daughter's on vacation or daughter's a wedding, and so
our daughter's husband's having his own health issues and she can't deal with it right now. So we look at that and say, if kids have a pattern of getting along, they are likely to continue to get along. If they don't have a pattern of getting along, they're not going to start now.
Exactly. I mean, that's the basic rule. I mean, you've seen it and lived it, so it's very simple in many cases to make those decisions.
And so oftentimes the parent is not enthused about only naming one child anyway, and so oftentimes, you know, putting two on there builds in protections. It deals with the fact if one of them is incapacitated, we still have someone else in a position to act. And frankly, typically only one acts anyway. The other one's just sitting on the sideline, so having two on there really doesn't matter.
Right, and I rarely let geography get in the way, because again, if there's a real crisis, you know, Johnny from the West Coast is probably going to be there and take care of the situation.
And so, you know, the fact is that geographic limitations in the past were a concern, but today it's so easy to do online billing, paying, and so forth, that it really isn't a problem to have somebody who is, you know, from across the country helping in this role.
Yeah, and you frequently see that delegation of responsibilities and whatnot, and as long as there's communication and quality character, it works beautifully.
And then having the appropriate documents. And we encourage people to get educated. Don't rely on your neighbors. Don't rely on your relatives. Don't rely on non-qualified elder law attorneys or, you know, accountants or that sort of thing, because these people don't do Medicaid cases. They went to a seminar, they heard something, they think it's, you know, what's going on. But in fact, one of the great challenges we have is that we do transfers all the time after someone's in the nursing home, and yet the single biggest urban myth of all is you can't make transfers after someone's in the nursing home.
Yeah, we hear it every day. And the reality is that's normally when we begin the process, especially with spouses.
Yeah, because right now we want them to retain their resources. Resources are essential to being able to get in-home care, cottages, apartments, and assisted living. But if you're in a nursing home, money's not going to help you. Now it's okay to consider transfer strategies.
And more importantly, you want to be able to transfer, protect that healthy spouse who otherwise would be in jeopardy.
And of course, everyone hears there's a 5-year rule, but it doesn't apply to spousal transfers. It only applies to non-spousal transfers. And yet, every day the public is confused by the fact that single-person rules, which are more difficult to deal with, somehow control spousal cases, which they don't.
Yeah, and so that's the point of getting expert advice so you can get the facts.
Tom, as always, thanks for taking time to appear on the program.
You're welcome.
More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
Few things in life are as important as family. Leave your insurance worries to us. Write Gardner. Call or visit our website to learn how we can make insurance simple and more affordable.
Every life that meets its end leaves a heart for love to mend. Sister, brother, family, friends are left to carry on. When the loss seems more than you can bear, it's nice to know that we'll be there at Douglas A. Fiery Funeral Home. We care.
Call Ed Lowe to help put your mind at ease.
Welcome to a special guest feature on Contemporary Retirement. This segment focuses on various issues which are of importance to the retirement community. With me today is Simone Heurich, Flowering Heart Yoga. Welcome to the show, Simone.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael.
You know, one of the interesting things about yoga is for people that look at it from afar, have this sense that it is very difficult and something that only young, lithe people can do. But in fact, it's a lifestyle. Tell us a little about it.
Absolutely. It's a great way to just bring awareness to your body and potentially create more comfort in your body by putting things in the right position. And then even working with your breath is a really great stress reduction tool.
And it's well known among medical professionals that think you can do a prescription or a procedure for everything. Whether you agree with that assessment or not doesn't really matter, but everybody agrees too much stress is not good for you, period.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's a very proactive, as you said, a lifestyle to just really keep one in balance.
So as we were preparing for this show, my staff told me that I was going to do yoga. And I know the first flashpoint that everybody has when they hear that is sitting in a lotus position, with their hands in a prayer mode. And in reality, that is a very insignificant part of yoga.
Absolutely. Well, and again, as I mentioned, awareness is such an important element. Just that we're paying attention, to our body in, a very observational way, not, necessarily putting, some kind of judgment on it, but just noticing.
Or stress on you.
Or stress.
It's really a stress reliever. And so in your yoga classes, which we'll mention where to find out about them, we have people that are young and lithe, the people, who are unable to get out of a chair but can still participate in yoga to improve whatever their station in life is.
Absolutely. Really, the majority of the people that attend my classes, I would say, are at midlife or past. I recently learned that one of the ladies that's been attending my class for years, she's never shared her age until recently. She's 89 years old.
Which also means is that you can have support as well. You can, you know, it's not that you have to do stuff that you're not capable of doing.
No, absolutely. I adapt everything to each person's individual needs. Even in a class setting, it's really possible to do that, to give specific instructions so that a person gets the full benefit without the risk.
And part of what we want to talk about here, when you talk about lifestyle, it's about adapting to even to where you are during the course of a day. And so one of the things that we want to demonstrate today is how even at work, or you know, you could do, or waiting for an airplane in an airport, you could actually do some yoga too. So we're going to try to walk me through. Mr. Inflexible is going to try to do some low yoga here. So tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah, so as you're sitting on your chair, facing your feet forward,
Okay.
one of the big things, especially when we're standing, we want to line everything up so we're not stressing the knees, the hips, or the back. And for 99% of all people, feet forward, legs parallel is going to be the most neutral position.
Okay, so we're there so far.
Yeah.
Now what?
And then, of course, the breath is really important, because if we're not breathing fully, we're just kind of collapsing and slouching. Yeah.
I'm really guilty of that, okay.
Who isn't, you know? A lot of times we're just like focused elsewhere.
Right.
But so first breathe out, feel your sitting bones settling down into the chair.
Okay.
And as you breathe in, just allow yourself to grow tall. You have nice height. Well, you know, we can all be taller. So opening up from the torso, belly to chest.
Okay.
And there's a lightness to your shoulders there. You don't
Okay.
have to scrunch them up to
All
your
right.
ears, but when everything opens up, they float up, and that's their neutral position.
Okay.
When we're pulled down like this, we're straining muscles.
Okay.
And then we want to put our head over our heart, so ears back, shoulders back.
My wife's going to laugh like heck when she sees
So this is probably not what we're used to feeling. It might feel exaggerated at first to have our shoulders in this more open position, but that's actually going to release these chronically tense and tight muscles.
Well, Simone,
Yeah.
so that is very simple, and it's just a yoga position that you can help people and, you know, understand and begin to relax a little bit and work around perhaps those stressors. And when you're accentuating the stressor by bad posture and so forth, it makes it harder.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, Simone, how can somebody get a hold of you?
My website is floweringheartyoga.com. And my phone number is 301-739-3330.
Simone, as always, thanks for taking time to appear on the program.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
Tranquility at Fredericktown Assisted Living and Memory Care provides a warm, home-like atmosphere that promotes daily life enrichment. At Tranquility, our medical director is a geriatric physician. Our professionals support and understand the various stages associated with Alzheimer's and dementia. We have on-site physical, occupational, and speech therapists, as well as around-the-clock licensed nurses. For more information, give Tranquility at Fredericktown a call today, because everyone deserves great care. Let us do the caregiving so you and your loved one can embrace life again.
Dad, there's the big one. There's the big one. Just wait. There's the monster. Just one more bid on HurleyAuctions.com. I got it.
If you haven't visited HurleyAuctions.com, you don't know what you're missing. Whether you're buying or selling, antique cars, tractors, boats, or real estate, you can do it all at HurleyAuctions.com.
Get to know Dr. Carrie Hesley at Diagnostic Imaging Services.
What I find most rewarding is caring for women through our Women's Imaging Center. We have a caring staff that will ease patients through an ultrasound, bone densitometry, breast biopsy, or mammogram. Our health team is sensitive to emotions involved in women's imaging and understands that every woman is at risk for breast cancer. Providing the community with a center that is so dedicated to breast health and the imaging needs of women is something special.
DIS Women's Imaging Center, providing women with progressive care.
Welcome to Contemporary Health Scene. Contemporary Health Scene focuses on the health issues affecting the retirement community. With me today is Beverly Stambaugh, Director, Western Maryland Chapter, Red Cross. Welcome to the show, Bev.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Now, of course, as our viewing area, there's Red Cross chapters supporting every county in which we're viewing.
That is correct. We represent all 5 counties of Western Maryland, Carroll, Frederick, Washington, Garrett, and Allegheny.
And of course, Pennsylvania and Virginia and West Virginia are also represented by chapters as well.
Absolutely, yes.
And so let's talk a little bit about one of the great functions of the Red Cross, which is really a huge medical need, and that's dealing with blood.
Absolutely. We supply over 40% of the nation's blood supply. And every 56 days, you are eligible to give blood. Anyone who's healthy and is 16 or older with parental consent is eligible to donate. Most people can give 6 times a year. Very few people give more than once, and statistics do show that people, if they would just give twice a year instead of just once, we would severely decrease the constant need for blood donations.
All right, and in the old days, you had to pay attention as to where the blood mobile might be and so forth, but with the construction of your beautiful facility on Conrad Court, sometimes you don't have to try to track the blood mobile.
That's correct. We do have our office on Conrad Court, 1131 Conrad Court is open every Wednesday for blood collections from the hours of 12:30 to 6. People are encouraged to make appointments. We do ask for people to make appointments, and they can do that through 1-800-RED-CROSS or through our website at redcross.org.
All right, and then of course you do another major function, and that's CPR training.
Absolutely. We really encourage all of our communities and individuals who can to please train. By having these skills, of life-saving skills, you then put yourself in a position to support your community, support your family, your loved ones, at a time when those critical skills will be needed. And CPR, first aid, is something that we also have offered for many, many years and will continue to do so. And that also can be found by calling us at 1-800-RED-CROSS or actually just going to our website at redcross.org.
And of course, CPR has changed over the years. It's not the same. So if you were trained 20 years ago, they don't do it the same way anymore.
That is correct. With medical and technological advances, we recognize better and more efficient ways to do things, and we've made a few changes to the program. But pretty much the basic skills are still there. There's a few little tweaks to it. I believe they go to the theme of staying alive now with I forget actually who even sang that, the Bee Gees, but that's a fun way to remember a skill set when you're in a critical situation where you need to use it. But yes, we definitely want people to become trained. The better trained you are, the better you are to respond, and the better you are to help prevent and assist in an emergency when needed.
And of course, you know, one of the great functions of the Red Cross is disaster.
Oh, and boy, didn't we have our hands full this past year. We had a very, very busy year. And disasters are really responded by our volunteers. 90% of what we do is volunteer driven. This past fall, we supported, from our chapter alone, over 40 different volunteers went out to different areas across the country and into Puerto Rico as well. As a matter of fact, we had one volunteer that served in Puerto Rico for 2.5 months. To keep that in perspective, the normal tenure for a volunteer when they are deployed is 2 weeks. A heavy need for that. With that being said, we always have local needs as well within our chapter 5 county area. We're always looking for individuals to help serve in response to home fires or local disasters, as we would call them.
So it's not a 2-week deployment. It could be just an evening if that's all it was needed.
It's probably only a half an hour to an hour, but we need you to be available when that fire happens and when our clients are requesting assistance. Serving on one of our disaster action teams is very simple and easy to do. There's no age limit. We encourage youth all the way up to seniors who are retired. It's a great way to help your community. It's a great way to get more connected with your community and just be able to provide those emergency life-saving just abilities to be able to help people move forward after such a critical time in their life.
And most importantly, sometimes our viewers are going to look and say, well, I'm not trained to do any of that.
That's a great question. Training is one of the things that we really do very well on. We do many things well, but we want to make sure that whenever we release you into our community to serve for us, that you have the skills and the training needed. That's something that we are very adamant about, and when it becomes to become a disaster action trainer, or team member. We do provide quite a significant amount of training, but most of our training, I would say almost 90% of it to 95% is done online. So it gives you the freedom and flexibility to do it from your home or wherever might be convenient for you.
But if you don't want to be a disaster relief person, you still need help in the office, clerical help, you need drivers, all kinds of things that people can do. Whatever they can do, they can probably help.
Absolutely. We have blood ambassador positions where we ask you to help us out at blood drives, where you greet and also provide snacks for our donors at blood drives. We need assistance in our office to assist with some administrative work. We also need people to drive our blood products, specifically from the Carroll County area towards Baltimore, to just help alleviate some of the costs that we actually incur by trying to hire contractors to come out and pick up the blood to deliver it to hospitals or back to our labs. And then we always just need youth volunteers and recruitment volunteers.
Your phone number as we wrap up here, Beverly. What's your phone?
1-800-RED CROSS or redcrossblood.org or redcross.org.
That was always. Thanks for taking time to appear on the program.
Much. Appreciate it.
More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
The Community Foundation continues to create great impact in Frederick County, thanks to generous donors. As our community evolves, so do we. While we don't have a real crystal ball that can predict the future, we are poised and ready to see things differently and help nonprofits, city and county agencies, civic groups, faith-based organizations, businesses, families, and individuals to solve problems within our community.
Albright Crumbacker Mal and Itel are a full-service firm that provides elder care services, including managing incoming bills, bill payment, depositing checks, balancing bank statements, and preparing, planning, and filing personal tax returns. Put your mind at ease and call us today.
Welcome to the Making Sense feature on Contemporary Retirement. Making Sense focuses on the financial issues affecting the retirement community. With me today, Sandra Miller, Senior Vice President of the Family Heritage Trust Company. Welcome to the show, Sandy.
Thanks for inviting me, Michael.
Sandy, when you sit down with clients, do an exhaustive review of everything that the client is doing. Every single family is different.
That's correct. We have young clients that are just starting out. We have clients that are in their earning years. We have clients that have retired. And so what we like to do is a full review of their assets at this current time, including their insurance, homeowners, life insurance, health insurance, auto, and any other sorts of financial types of engagements that they're in.
And one of the big differences is that you now have a certified financial planner on staff, but we don't have insurance licenses.
No, we don't.
Which means that review is not about trying to review it in order to sell you a product, because the trust company has no insurance licenses. So that review is truly an independent audit of all of the transactions that you're entering into on a financial basis to determine whether or not you have appropriate coverages, whether it be enough or whether you need to look at other things.
Yes, what we like to do, since we're fiduciary, is make sure the clients, if they already have these so-called products, are in the proper products. And you know, we really pride ourselves in doing the right thing for the client, because we are fiduciaries, and that's what that means. So if a client has a variety of duplicated investments and or products, we want to make sure the client knows that, so that maybe they can conserve some of those payments that they're making and get the appropriate types of products that they need from someone other than us. They get to choose who they want to deal with.
So the reality is that, you know, you're fiduciaries, you don't sell products, which means you will look at it for the client. Is there a fee for looking at it for the client?
No, we do not charge for that service. We only charge for the annual management fee of our trust company. So any other items that we're looking at as far as doing a financial plan, which we can do for the client, we do not charge extra for that.
All right, and it said trust, but you don't have to have a trust. You
That's
have three
correct.
different primary styles of accounts that you assist people with.
That's correct. We have investment management accounts. We also have retirement IRA accounts, and then we can act as trustee under your will or under other types of trust arrangements. And in certain instances, we also handle special needs trusts.
Do you have to have a trust in order to interface with the trust company?
No, you don't. The name trust company identifies the fact that we have trust powers, but we are an investment manager and we provide all of the services that an investment manager would provide as well.
And now this complimentary service of doing certified financial planning, all fancy books and everything else, if a person feels like they need to touch that base or they want that base previously reviewed, looked at again, but fairly uniquely because there's no product sales involved with it, whereas many of the certified financial planners out there get a lot of their fees by an underlying product sale.
That's true. Many of them are tied to certain mutual fund companies or certain insurance companies that may sell annuities or universal life, those kinds of products. We will advise you on everything, but we don't try to sell you product.
But we will help you select a product that you are choosing from another provider.
Right, exactly. So we don't take advantage of anything that we show you as far as what may be appropriate or what may not be appropriate. So we're not getting a fee just because we're quote unquote trying to sell you something. We are doing all of this complimentary and we're making sure you understand what your options are, and there's no fee for doing that.
All right, and so you look at auto policies, homeowners policies, umbrella policies. You mentioned universal life products. Many of those policies, you can pay the premium and it's never going to pay a death benefit.
That's true. So we really delve into all of the bells and the whistles that the client may or may not have understood when they purchased that, and make sure they understand what they're paying for and what the benefit is of that premium payment.
And are you getting what you're paying for?
Exactly, exactly.
And unfortunately, find a lot of people have been sold a bill of goods that the product, whether it be circumstantial or perhaps it was inappropriately sold to begin with, are not going to achieve the goal that the client set out for it to achieve.
That's correct. And unfortunately, sometimes they're in a situation where they can't really take the money out without losing a significant amount of their principal. So we make everything clear to them so that they have the opportunity to make the choices based on what we can find for them within that product.
And just call you at what number if you have a question?
The area code is 301-631-5900, and that's in Frederick. Toll free, it's 855-869-5900.
Sandy, as always, thanks for taking time to appear on the program.
My pleasure, Michael.
Thank you from Contemporary Retirement.
Remember a more carefree time? Leave your insurance worries to us, Wright Gardner. Call or visit our website to learn how we can make insurance simple and more affordable.
These days, it seems like everything's online, and filling out claim forms and receiving and paying bills online isn't always easiest. That's why we at Quality First Insurance encourage you to just give us a call. Let us help.
Hi there, I'm Paul Sweeney with Quality First Insurance, and it's still just this simple. Our offices are open every weekday where you'll be able to call and speak to real, live people.
No detail was missed. I'm so glad that I turned to Quality First Insurance.
I've recommended Quality First Insurance to my friends who've been just as satisfied.
If you're not happy with what you're paying for Medigap, or more importantly, not happy with your service, give us a try. We're locally owned, and we take the time to provide you with the best. We are Quality First Insurance, and our mission is to provide quality products to quality people. Pick up the phone and give us a call today at 800-745-1411.